Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Play Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We went out to the clearing and had a bad time. We kind of remembered a bit of our history and caused our scar to release pus. This is gross. But now we're back in our room. And apparently Akiha is not going to be calling a doctor. Even though we just talked to one this morning, who will answer the call, but it's fine.
バカなことは言わないで翡翠。呼べるわけがないでしょ。兄さんの傷は普通の傷じゃないんだから。
Akiha, oh, we're like dying, and Hisui are speaking. This is Shiki's room. I'm sleeping on the bed. My senses are finally back. I try to push myself up and break the tension with a greeting, but my body won't listen to my brain's commands. Though the pain in my chest is gone, my entire body feels like lead. Looks like my mouth and eyes are the only things I've got control over.
一体どういうつもりなの翡翠。兄さんはあの場所に近づけてはいけないって。あなたも知っているでしょうに。申し訳ありません。謝って済む問題じゃないわ。あなたを兄さん付きの使用人にしたのはこういう事態を避けるためでしょ。それを忘れてあなたは何をやっていたっていうのよ。
Akia's seething mad. This might be the most emotion I've ever seen from her. Hisui, head bowed, simply receives her scolding. I don't know what led to all this. All I can tell is that Hisui's getting yelled at because of me.
ほら、口にしてもらえないかしら翡翠。あなたは今日一日どこで何をしていたのかを。
See, like, here's the thing. Before, we had the mystery of, like, why is she doing this? And when we kind of learned a bit of it in, like, the original. But now that there's this whole other layer with Goto, it's like, is there another reason? Keeps the intrigue going for old-time players.
この人が朝に倒れたことも報告せず、天津さえあの森に行かせてしまった。これは明確な意図があってのことよね。そうでなければ、犬以下の頭だもの。答えなさい翡翠。あなたも私に逆らうつもりなの？
Honestly, Akiha is so much scarier with voice acting. So much so. Like, I mean, I could only do so much, right? Hisui maintains her silence. The air in the room grows heavier with every breath. Akiha bites her lip and takes a step forward. It's obvious to me that she's gonna strike her. Hisui continues to look down at the floor, ready to accept her punishment.
ちょっと待て、アキハ。
Okay, so I think, did the slap go through in the original? I think it did.
兄さん、気がついたんですか？
ああ、アキハがあんまりにうるさいんで、今目が覚めた。
So I was wondering if they'd go through with the slap, and then again, I'm trying to think of, like, did it actually even happen in the original? It's hard to remember. Akiha looks away, visibly uncomfortable. Hisui, meanwhile, has her eyes to the floor and won't even look in my direction.
あのさ、あんまり翡翠に当たるなよ。事情は知らないけど、俺が倒れたことで揉めてるんだろ。なら、翡翠に責任はない。こんなの、俺が勝手に倒れただけなんだから。
Urging strength into my arms, I lift myself up into a sitting position. That simple motion takes all the energy I have. At this point, I don't even think I could lift a finger. But for Hisui's sake, I need to pretend like I'm okay.
まったく、お前も俺のことなんかで喧嘩するな。大人びたように見えて、まだ子供なんだな。
Yeah, maybe not the words I would have chosen to assuage her fears, buddy, but okay.
でも、兄さんはあれからずっと気を失っていたんですよ。10時間以上も昏睡しているなんて今までなかったはずです。
バカ、縁起でもないこと言わないでくれ。こんなのはただの貧血って、なんだ？ もう10時を回ってるのか?
Yeah, I was gonna say we won't even have enough energy to go out to meet with Arcueid. No, there's no way now considering it's past the time.
はい。ですから、兄さんはお昼から今までずっと気を失っていたんです。
Akia's tone is reserved, but it's not my health I'm worried about, it's my promise to Arcueid. 10 o'clock and don't you dare be late. She looked like she really meant that last part. I can only imagine what she'll put me through if I'm late again.
やばい。行かなくっちゃ。
How?
アキハ、ごめん。俺は出かけるから、後のことはよろしく頼む。あんまり翡翠をいじめるなよ。
そちらこそ、バカなことは言わないでください。私、兄さんが舞をどこに行くかなんて、もう聞きません。聞きませんから。どうか、今夜ぐらいは、ご自分の体を大事にしてあげてください。
That is an ultimatum that will help us in the future. That's a secret mouse tool for later.
アキハ。
She's genuinely pleading with me. Seeing her this worried, I can feel my determination start to
で
waver.
も、こんなのはしょっちゅうなんだぞ。中学の頃なんて、日に2回は倒れてたんだしさ。
It's not really something to brag about, but
だから余計に心配なんです。兄さん、お願いだから、今日ぐらいは私の言うことを聞いてください。
Akia peers into me, anxiously awaiting my response. How do I even do 2? I'm just curious how we're even going to go see her. I'm glad that Akia's worried about me, but I can't break my promise with Arcueid.
わかった。今日はおとなしく眠ることにする。
I mean, it's not even gonna matter. There's no way we can move. I lower my torso back down on the bed.
本当ですか。後になって部屋
Oh,
を抜
see,
け出し
now
た
I
りする
feel
のも
bad.
あのな、こんな体でアキハたちの目を盗んで外に出られると思うか。
言われてみればそうですね。
Akia lowers her shoulders, obviously relieved.
翡翠、琥珀に兄さんが目を覚ましたことを伝えに行って。兄さん、夕食はどうしますか？
There's like a real concern in that. I'm shocked at how many unique like sprites they gave each character, because it really feels at times like, oh, this is so perfect for this one line, but like it could just be the angle of it and stuff, right?
いや、食事はちょっと。琥珀さんには悪いけど食べられそうにない。
There's no way we're even going to be able to leave, though. I think this is a fake choice.
ああ、でも飲み物くらいなら通るから、野菜ジュースとかあったら助かる。
わかりました。翡翠、そう琥珀に伝えてきて。かしこまりました。野菜ジュース、人参、トマト、白菜、キャベツ、赤ピーマン、梅などのミックスを支給。
I was really interested in learning some of their Japanese names there. I'm not familiar with that recipe. Maybe it's the Kohaku special?
では私も退出
I'd
し
order
ま
the
す。
Kohaku special.
何かありましたら遠慮なく呼んでください。何時だろうとすぐに駆けつけますから。
Kia exits the room, turning off the lights as she goes.
すまない、アキハ。
How are you gonna do this, buddy? I whisper as I rouse myself from bed. The light is off, but my vision flickers between black and white. Simply standing up is enough to sap my consciousness away. This is far from my usual anemia. Even so, I have to get to the park. It's her we're talking about. Who knows how many hours she'll waste waiting if I don't. There's no way we're escaping. My unsteady steps carry me to my desk. I take my knife from the drawer and put on my jacket.
参った。 たな。
Yeah, no.
これじゃ本当に秋葉たちの目は盗めない。
I need to rest until I can at least run, unless I want to be caught by Hisui and sent back to my room.
なんだ結局。
We tried. I'm gonna be even later than yesterday, and Arcueid will give me another earful. Maybe that won't be so bad. I plop myself onto the floor. 1 hour. If I rest for just 1 hour, I should be able to walk. No way. Is he actually going to be able to? No way. No, there's no way. I arrive at the park just before midnight. I'm strong enough to shuffle along, but my snail's pace added an extra hour to the trip. If she's not here, we might as well die. Shoulders heaving, I do a quick sweep of the area. Oh, thank God she's here. At the rest area where we usually meet, I spot her, a white silhouette standing starkly against the shadowed park.
やっぱり待ってた。
Arcueid seems to have noticed me. She walks straight to me, her boots tapping against the ground.
今夜も壮大な意地悪。恐れ入るわ。来てくれたからいいけど、2時間もオーバーした理由をたっぷり。
Arcueid cuts herself short the second she sees my face.
ちょっと、どうしたのシキ？
Squid Games.
顔は真っ青だし、正気も全然感じられないし。もしかして先に死者探しをしてきちゃった？
どんな冒険野郎だよ俺は。そんなんじゃなくてちょっと貧血気味なんだ。時々こういう風になるからそう驚かなくていい。
See, it's funny because part of me, when I heard that this game is pretty much Tsukihime but cell phones, I was like, dang, there's so many times when misunderstandings can be fixed now that there's cell phones. And then I remembered, wait, Arcueid won't have a cell phone. There's so many miscommunications and problems that can be solved with a cell phone, but when one major character doesn't have one, that's it. It doesn't help.
それよりごめんな。2時間も待たせちまって。できるだけ早く来たつもりなんだけど。
うん、私は別に気にしてないけど。さっきまでずっとなんで遅れてるんだろうって考えていたけど、ほんとわかんない。そんな体で出てくるなんて変だよ、シキ。
Because you might have hurt me if I didn't.
だって約束だろ。アルクエイドの手伝いをするって言ったんだから。これぐらいじゃサボれない。それにほら昨日のこともあるし。お前を一人にしていたらそれこそどんな事件が追加されるか。
それは嬉しいけど、後半のは余計だけど。やっぱりおかしい。こんなのいくらなんでもひどすぎる。
ひどいって何が？
そういう全然自分の体を分かってないところ。人間の命は不安定なものだけど、四季はその揺れ幅が大きすぎる。
It really does feel like it's either 0 or 100 at any given moment. Like he's either like super good and like can run up walls and do crazy combos, or he's like a sneeze will kill him.
当の四季は普段からとても死に近いところに立っている。それが直視の魔眼の反動か、今日までの運命の代償かはわからないけど、波のように生と死の境界を行き来している。だからあなたの貧血とやらは前も大丈夫だったから今回も大丈夫なんていうものじゃない。いい意識。あなたは外的要因の死には抵抗がある。きっと一度そういった要因の臨死を体験したからでしょうね。けどその反面、内的要因の死には抵抗力がまるでない。頻繁に貧血で倒れるのは体が行っている防護策なのよ、きっと。 人間は内側の異常には気づけないけど、あなたの体はそれを本能的に感知している。これ以上は取り返しがつかなくなるという時、強制的にあなたを休ませよう。今の貧血だって本来なら死んでいてもおかしくない男性のはず。覚醒できたのはたまたま運が良かったからと思いなさい。
I mean, we did sleep for 10 hours and then had rest for an extra hour. I'm just shocked he was able to get out here. That's why I picked this option. Because, like, how? I wouldn't quite say the scales have fallen from my eyes, but her explanation tracks. I nod along. I've always thought of my anemia as my body doing the equivalent of a forced shutdown on a computer, but I guess you can look at it the opposite way, too. As Arcueid would have it, my anemia isn't a symptom of my weak constitution. It's more like a breaker tripping before my circuits get completely fried.
なんか大げさな物言いだけど。
Let me get this
つ
straight.
まり、貧血になってる時は、指先一つでコロッと行きやすいってこと？
Think back to every miserable morning these past 7 years.
もう私は本気で忠告してるの。でも来てくれてありがとう。今夜はもう帰ってゆっくり体を休めなさい。
Oh, that's a boob. She draws in close, without warning. She must be really worried to approach me so vulnerably. That's the best shot we get of her weird little necklace. There's too much detail in that to just be a fashion accessory. There's gotta be something there. I think she can open it up and there'll be something inside. Who knows? Maybe she keeps Len in there. That'd be fun. Arcueid's chest presses against mine before I can even pull back. Oh my god, are we gonna die now from horny? A dizziness wholly unlike Mega Man. Quiet. What was that? Don't miss out Blue Smile Company. Get blue archive figures. I'm good. I'm gonna mute my phone. I got rid of Hutao, because that was confusing people. A dizziness wholly unlike the kind I'm used to pervades my mind. I've tried to ignore it, but right now I'm all too aware of the softness of her chest, of her porcelain skin, of her hair, golden and smoother than silk. Her captivating charms assault my senses.
ごめん、アルクエイド。ちょっと離れてくれ。
You're one step too close into my personal bubble.
何よ、私の言葉は信用できないっていうの？吸血鬼だから？
No. I'm more worried about you being the other type of bloodsucker. You know, a woman.
何今さらそんなこと言ってるんだ。アルクエイドのことを信じないわけがないだろ
う。嘘。じゃあなんで視線をそらしているの？
だから、あくまで俺の個人的な理由でちょっと離れてほしい。そう近くに来られると、俺も男だから困る。
Oh, she got nervous. Whew. For the time being, I've escaped one of the sources of my dizziness. 2 was absolute torture.
とにかく、アルクエイドに心配してもらうほどじゃない。だいたい、昨日の夜みたいに襲われたら、今度こそ殺されるかもしれないんだから、こっちも休んではいられないんだよ。
Oh, right. We haven't told her about last night.
待って。どういうこと？
Yeah, hi, we should probably talk about this.
だから屋敷に帰るときにって、そうか、まずこれを報告しないと。アルクエイド、俺昨日の夜に死者に襲われた。俺が一人で屋敷に戻るところ待ち構えていたんだと思う。
Oh, that's a serious face. Arcueid's expression grows stern.
信じられない。どうしてそんな大事なことを忘れていられるのよ、あなたは。
To be fair, we really haven't had a chance to talk until now.
面目ない。でもほら、死ななきゃ安いというか。
バカ、そんなだから心配してるの、私は。
At this point, I can't help it. Each and every day, there's some new, stranger thing going on.
まあいいわ。それより詳しい話を聞かせて。
Arcueid stares at me, her fierce gaze demanding an explanation. I calm myself down and try to explain the attack in as much detail as possible. Though I leave out the part about my shrouded assailant being able to see my lines of death. I don't have any conclusive proof, so it could have just been my imagination. Buddy, that would have been good info, but okay. Okay, you're just being you. After catching up, I peek at Arcueid to gauge her reaction. From start to finish, her eyes remained focused, her brow knit in
どうなん
consternation.
だアルクエイド。真っ黒い死者とシスター服の女はお前の敵なのか？
そうね。両方とも私の敵よ。その死者は何者だか知らないけど、修道服を着た女のことなら見当はつく。シキを助けた奴は私と顔見知りかもしれない。確かにあの女なら私より先に敵を見つけ出せるわ。
Arcueid bites her lip in frustration. Her irritation is verging on rage.
アルクエイド。俺を助けてくれたシスターはお前が前に言っていた。
ええ、教会の異端狩りよ。シキを助けた奴はそこで一番厄介な部署の代行者。けどおかしいな。埋葬機関がこんなに早く代行者を送ってくるはずはないんだけど。そんなことより、シキはどうして戦ったりしたの？私に協力してくれるって言ったけど、一人で戦うとは言わなかったわ。
I mean, there really was no choice other than do it or die. Arcueid turns her glare towards me. Wow, she's actually worried for me.
ああ、もう、すっごく損した気分。私に内緒でそんな楽しそうなことするなんて。
Fun, she says.
活躍のチャンス逃しちゃったじゃない。
Maybe not.
聞いていいか？さっきまでの深刻な空気はどこに？
本気で怒ってるの？せっかくシキと一緒に戦えると思ったのに。
It may not be appropriate right now, but it makes me happy that she feels that way.
あのな、一人でやり合うことになったのは成り行きだよ、成り行き。俺はお前抜きで吸血鬼と戦う気はないんだから。
Oh, she's happy now.
成り行きってどんな？
He was in front of my house, Arcueid.
世間一般で言うところの正義感なのかもしれない。今は少し後悔してる。
We're ignoring the bigger thing. He was literally on the path to my house. And, like, he was gonna attack me.
正義感？
I mean, yeah, there's the talk of the right thing, your body move, blah, blah, blah. But, like, more than that, he was coming at us. And he was in front of our house. She tilts her head like I've just spouted gibberish. Ultimately, it probably is. Yesterday made me realize there's no greater, higher calling to it. When it happened, when I saw that silhouette in front of me, all I felt was fear. As I realized how abnormal my opponent was, I was shaken to my core. I then took out my knife and we began our duel to the death. My morality tells me that people shouldn't kill each other. My self-preservation instinct, the desire not to die, isn't helping either. After all, someone else's death isn't inherently relative to my own. In this life or death situation, cold logic serves me best. If I kill him, I'll survive. If I don't, I'm dead. It's a conclusion to end all conclusions. Motivation and certainty are all that drive me now.
Yeah, なんでもない。ほら、一段落ついたところで始めようぜ。せっかく来たんだから、街を徘徊してる死者の一人でも見つけ出さないともったいない。
あのね、本気で怒るわよ、シキ。それとこれは話が別。ちゃんと休んでって言ったでしょ？死者の食堂もあらかた片付けたところだし、今夜は様子を見て明日に備えましょう。
See, the thing is, if we did stay home and rest, she'd get mad at us, because she wouldn't know. Arcueid's grim expression leaves no room for rebuttal. When she says it that firmly, I've got no choice but to agree with her. It's not like I'd be able to search for vampires alone in the first place.
わかった。アルクエイドがそこまで言うんなら、今夜はおとなしく休む。
素直でよろしい。シキは昨べ襲われただけじゃなくて、そんなに体が弱っているんだもの。今晩はぐっすり眠って、明日までにはいつもの式に戻ってもらわないと、私が困るわ。
ああ、そうか。協力者が足手まといになってたら話にならない。オッケー。明日までには体力を回復させておく。
So, like, this is where Arcueid should say, hey, you're probably going to die if you walk home alone. I will carry you there. And Princess carry him back home. She's not going to do that.
そういう意味じゃないんだけどな。
Arcueid seems dissatisfied. I don't know if I'll ever understand how she thinks. Women, am I right?
じゃあ、屋敷に戻るよ。また明日な、アルクエイド。
I wave as I turn to leave.
ねえ、シキ。
I turn back to face her.
なんだよ。まだ何かあるのか。
どうしてもって言うならなんだけど。
Hmm?
私、送っていこうか？
Oh, also in the moonlight there. Beautiful. Arcueid averts her gaze, her voice unsure. It seems that after what happened last night, she's concerned for me in her own way. Knowing that, the offer really doesn't sound too bad, and yet...
いや、やめとく。
You're so stupid.
屋敷の周りでお前といるところを誰かに見られたら、
You're
そ
so
れこそ明日の朝が怖い。
stupid. Oh my god, dude.
大丈夫。もう一人で歩けるし。こんなの、お前が心配する筋合いでもないしな。
I've already seen her by the mansion. Dude, you had such a good chance.
うん。
For the slightest moment, Arcueid casts her eyes downward before looking up again.
それじゃ、また明日ね。
The vampire in white waves goodbye before vanishing into the night. They're going to be waiting for us at home. Oh. Huh. That's the end of the chapter, really? Okay. Waning moon. Well, that makes me curious about... That's just a real photo of a real cupboard. That makes me real curious about if we do the other one. Sorry, what malfunction? Okay, just wait. Flowchart. Oh, yeah, this leads to a very different... Oh, this is a proper split. Okay. Well, for now, we'll just keep it going then. Malfunction. Load threshold exceeded. A broken vessel cannot be mended. Broken tableware serves no use. It's unsightly. So it's better hidden at the back of the What is going on? Huh? I dreamed of the moon. I don't remember where I was, or why I was looking at it. Maybe I didn't want to look at anything else, and when I glanced up at the night sky, the moon was the only thing there. My spine creaks. A midwinter chill courses through my veins. Alone in the darkness, dizziness takes over me. Above me sits the moon, dizzying, blinding, enchanting. How strange. Instead of suffocating me, this cruel cold feels oddly comforting in its familiarity.
シキ様。
Hispi's voice filters through the early morning light.
シキ様。お目覚めの時間です。
We can see the lines on her. Her monotonous voice brings me back to life, or back to my senses. That's a really sad image. Terrible things flood my vision the moment I open my eyes. Feels like a bullet blasting through my brain. I've only just woken up, and I already feel like I might pass out. I fumble for my glasses, rushing to put them on before my vertigo gets any worse.
四季様、ご気分が優れないのですか？
いや、昨日の疲れがまだ残ってるだけ。すぐに良くなるから、心配は無用だよ。
Giving my head a light shake, I banish those awful lines from my memory. It's the price I have to pay for keeping my word to Arcueid, but damn if my senses aren't feeling dull today.
おはよう、翡翠。今朝も起こしに来てくれてありがとう。
Pushing myself to sit up straight, I smile as naturally as I can.
いえ、これが私の仕事ですから。四季様に感謝されるほどのことではありません。
そうかな。俺はすごくありがたいけど、目覚まし時計の音なんかより何倍もあったかい感じがする。
Not that I think they're degenerate or anything. And it's all thanks to her that I could wake up again today. I get out of bed. It's a little before 7. I'm up about 10 minutes earlier than usual.
朝食だろ。すぐに行くから先に行ってていいよ。
はい。それでは食堂でお待ちしております。
Hisui gives me her usual small bow and quietly leaves the room, or not.
四季様、
Oh, she really faltered in her voice there.
ん？他に何か伝言とか？
いいえ、何でもありません。
Are we still in our clothes?
どうか今日一日、健やかにお過ごしください。
We're still in our clothes, aren't we? With that, Hisui leaves the room. Now then, my body might not be in top shape, but it's not like I feel bad enough to call in sick. I'm sure I'll feel fine after I have some of Kawaku's homemade breakfast. That or maybe she just literally checked on us in the night and saw that we weren't there. When I get to the parlor, I find Akia seated on the sofa and Hisui standing by the wall.
おはようございます、兄さん。
She's looking happy.
昨夜はゆっくり休まれましたか？
ああ。おはよう、アキラ。
There's a certain bounce to her voice, betraying an out-of-character cheerfulness. A good mood is indicative of good mental health, so I'm happy to see it. But something's weird here.
どうしたんだよ。制服に着替えなくていいのか？
ええ、本日は自主休校とさせていただきました。屋敷の方でやることができましたので。
Really flaunting taking a business day, huh?
兄さんはいつも通り学校ですか？どうぞ気ままな学生気分を堪能してきてください。
Hmm? I could see she's in a good mood, but she also seems strangely excited.
それにしても今朝は顔色がいいんですね。
Why are you doing the Saul Goodman lean? It's not like you.
やっぱり昨夜ゆっくり休んでくれたからですか？
まあな。今朝は起きるのも早かったし。
それならもう心配する必要はないですね。兄さんが言うことを聞いてくれる人でよかった。
Wait, are you intentionally guilt-tripping me because you know the truth? Ah, right in the guilt. Keeping my word to Arcueid came at the cost of betraying Akiha. The fact that I came back without exhausting myself doesn't change the fact that I lied to her. I better make a quick retreat before I do anything to give away how tired I am.
食堂で朝食をもらってくれ。食べたら学校に行くから、俺のことは気にしなくていいぞ。
わかりました。でもまだ何かあるようでしたら遠慮なく立ち寄ってください。あと少しだけここで待っていますから。
I wonder what else she's doing then. Breakfast ought to put some energy back into my tired limbs. Just stuff the egos into my limbs. Hiding my less than ideal condition from Ikea, I head for the dining room. Oh, she knows. Oh, she knows. And did that to guilt us. As soon as I finish breakfast, I leave for school. It was overly optimistic to think breakfast would make me feel better, especially since I've never been able to eat much in the morning to begin with. My appetite was gone from the start. As a result, it took me more than 30 minutes to finish eating. A long time for a growing student.
今朝は適切なお食事を用意せず、申し訳ありませんでした。明日こそは必ず、四季さんの目に星が散るような朝食をご用意しますから。
Kohaku has her strongest enemy now in the mansion, a picky eater. Kohaku clutches her hands in front of her chest in a show of fierce determination. For once, it's her who's sending me off instead of Hisui. I guess it's because she doesn't have to accompany Kia
い
today.
え、こっちこそ食が細くてごめんなさい。いつもご迷惑をおかけします。
She doesn't deny it. Kohaku stares at me in silence. She's not denying it. For just a moment, her perfectly unchanging eyes remind me of a machine.
琥珀さん、俺の顔何かついてます？
いえ、そういうわけではないのですが、四季さんのお顔の色が優れないので。
A pang of dread hits me. Akia didn't notice anything, but do I actually look that bad?
やっぱりお止めするべきですよね。明葉様もいらっしゃいますし、四季さんも今日は学校をお休みになられては？
Oh, you're pushing this.
ああ、いや、大丈夫。少し体が重いだけ。昨日のことで心配するのはわかるけど、行けるときは学校に行っておきたいし。
もう、そんな優しい顔で言われては、お咎めもできません。わかりました。明葉様には内緒にしておきます。でも、本当に無理は禁物ですよ。
ですね。今日は早めに帰ってきて休みますから、それで多めに見てください。
はい。おかえり、お待ちしています。
Kawaku sees me off with a smile. It's not that I'm trying to give truth to my lies, but I do think I'll head right home after classes finish. It'll give me some time to rest, as well as the opportunity to reassure Akia and the others that I'm fine before meeting Arcueid. Now here's the question. Are we still on a split path, or is this now back to basics? Let's see. If I go to the flowchart. Oh no, we're still on the different path. I'm on my way to school. My limbs still feel stiff as I descend the hill, like I'm wearing someone else's body. I expected this feeling to have passed by now, but I've no such luck. It still feels like I'm dragging myself through a swamp. Whoa, that was a transition. I get to the classroom. We're in the middle of the second period. The teacher for my seat. Sitting down, I can finally... It's lunch now. Arihiko's absent, which isn't too unusual, but there's another empty seat that draws my attention. Yumizuka's. She's probably absent due to a cold or some other perfectly normal reason. Right? Now, what should I do for lunch today? Eat. Right! If I don't eat, I won't get any better. Except I don't have any appetite at all. Not because I feel sick, but more because I feel like it's lost the ability to function. So there's no need for me to eat. No reason for me to rise from my chair. No energy to expend standing. No excess to waste. The strangest thing is that I accept my new condition without a moment's hesitation. Class is in session! Which class is this? I can't remember what we have for 5th period today. I see the blackboard, I hear the teacher's voice, but none of it makes sense. The universe and everything within it have become incomprehensible. The letters on the board blur together like smears of paint being washed away. I don't feel so good. The entire classroom has tilted. My sense of balance abandons me. It's like tumbling down a hill. I try to cling to something for dear life, but this world is smooth and featureless. My consciousness slips and twists. I fall from the chair, unable to resist. Like a dropped bowling ball, I hit the floor with a hard, heavy, ugly noise. One of the girls screams. I vaguely register the quickened footsteps of the teacher approaching me. I am no longer conscious. But from somewhere off to the side, I calmly watch the aftermath of my fall. After that, things play out the same way they always do. I passed out from anemia, so I'm carried to the nurse's office, which is where I slumber in one of the beds until I feel better. By the time it hits 7 in the evening, I'm still running a 38-degree fever. The school nurse contacts the Tono Mansion to arrange a pickup. Oh, right, is this ending? Right. Okay. Right, this ending. We're gonna die. It doesn't take long for someone to arrive. Like a shot from a movie, a luxurious black car rolls in the school's parking lot and slows to a halt. The car transports me not to a hospital, but back to the mansion. That makes sense, it's only a fever. My body is heavy, but I'm still fully conscious. Oh, do we not get to see Kohaku's casual clothing? Because that was the best part. Aww. The black car drives through the night-filled city, apathetic to the mundanity of the world around it. It's just me and the chauffeur. They haven't spoken a word. Wait. Then who's taking us? Oh no. Is this gonna be Goto? He's the one who has a black car. Shiki Tono sits in the back, fastened in place by his seatbelt. The air is stifling in and outside of the car. This feels more like a hearse, huh? I think of a joke, but I stop myself from saying it. The old mansion comes into view once we cross through the arch of the dark trees. I sigh. Combination of wonder and resignation. The mansion still looks like it did 7 years ago. Every decent castle has a dungeon built into it. A place to keep fearsome things, evil things, things that deviate from the norm. All that must be quarantined from the rest of the world. Wait, what? No. Wait, this is going differently.
お帰りなさいませ、シキ様。お話は聞いております。すぐにベッドまでお連れしますので、それまでもうしばらくご辛抱。
Why is this music so creepy? The maid greets me in the lobby. I just about managed to make it through the front door, but my knees give out as soon after, and I almost collapse onto the carpet.
危ない。
Yeah,
失礼しました。
she's not gonna help us up.
まだ熱があるのですね。
That's how you know she's serious if she's offering a
私の
shoulder.
肩をお使いください。
Wow. The servant manages to catch Shiki Tono. He? We really are looking at everything in third person now. This is weird. Oh, we are out of it. The servant manages to catch Shiki Tono just before he falls, and now offers her a shoulder to lean on. Now offers her shoulder, rather. It's fine. I can still walk at least. Thanks, though. I know how much you hate being touched. I reply to her with all the strength I can muster.
確かに苦手です。ですが、今はシキ様の手当てを優先させていただきます。秋葉様や姉には黙っていますので、どうかお体を私にお預けください。
This isn't... One sec.
秋葉様や姉には黙っていますので、
Wait.
秋葉様や姉には黙っていますの
Okay,
で、
no, wait. Okay, never mind.
どうか
Okay.
お体を私にお預けください。
I don't know if this... I don't know if this is her.
シキ様が病気がちなのは、シキ様のせいではありません。
Because also, she wouldn't do this.
人間、誰だって頼りたいし、頼られたいものなのですから。
I think this is Kohaku. She softly squeezes my cold hands. Yeah, no, this is Kohaku, I think. Alright, if you insist. Obediently, I follow the gentle voice's instructions. In me, there exists a desire to be relied on and to rely on others. To be protected and to protect. To be given life and to give life. Sorry, did you just say you're going to give birth, buddy? What? It all makes sense now. While they may have opposing directions, they don't contradict one another in the slightest. They encompass cravings we all simultaneously yearn for. Oh, buddy is out of it.
階段を上りますので、ご注意のほど。
The maid guides me by the hand. Every step causes my surroundings to flicker as I teeter back and forth through existence. Still consumed by this haze, I let her lead the way. This isn't right. We're going the wrong direction. We're headed for the East Wing, the place where Shiki Tono is not permitted to tread. Up ahead lies... This is the wrong way. Shiki Tono's voice echoes through the hall. The maid doesn't reply. It isn't just her voice that's missing. The gentle touch of her hands and the familiar presence of her uniform are nowhere to be found. What? I force my unsettled mind to take note of my surroundings. There's no one in the hallway. There's no sound. I can hardly feel anything. Now that I'm actually looking. There's no entrance or exit. Like unwanted junk that no longer serves any purpose. I've been left to gather dust at the back of a massive drawer. I collapse like a building shaken from its foundation. Shiki Tono must have invited the ire of whatever was keeping him alive. The ground feels like a soft cushion, or perhaps a hard tatami mat, woven from grass. As I've lost all sensation in my skin, I won't know the answer until the next time I wake up. It all ends with no explanation, but the truth remains hidden. The curtain still falls. An abrupt conclusion, perfectly suited to Shiki Tono. All right, that was a very different ending than what wasn't it just something stupid like he goes to the school and then Kohaku goes to pick him up and then just they both get like stabbed or something. I remember it being such like a nut like it was kind of a sort of ending, but it was also like a kind of also nothing burger ending. I mean, again, the cool thing was, if I remember correctly, it had casual clothing Kohaku, which was like, whoa, right? But okay, yeah, tell me more about this, because this was weird. But I do think that was Kohaku. I think that was Kohaku taking us to the same basement place that Shiki's in.
普通に10日目が始まったと思ったら、普通に学校に行って普通にエンドになったよ。
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' input, even though I know it's going to be nonsense.
これどうなってんのシエル。エラ、この席作ってないのかにゃ。
You say that, but I literally saw people complaining about that on Twitter. And it's like, for reference, we're on what? Part like 16, right? Let me see here. We're on part 16, and we haven't even got to... Because I want to do a comparison here. We're on part 16, and we're still doing, like, Arcueid stuff, right? So, Tsukihime. I go to Tsukihime here. Oh, I gotta go way to the back. Alright, let's see here. So, it took till part... Okay, so part 15 was the end of Arcueid's route for me originally. So like this game should end at part 27 to line up with the original. Like there's a lot more to this one, you know. But people were complaining, like they didn't even finish the game, and it's like, well, because they made it a lot bigger.
どう考えても悪い選択はしてないしな。妹との約束を破った？
Yep.
でも金髪美少女との約束の方が大事っしょ？これこそ正解ルートのはずにゃんだけど。何を言っているんですか？明葉さんがあれほど心配していたのに出かけてしまうなんて、お兄さん失格です。
To be fair, you just want me to get Arcueid angry.
今まで何度も倒れてきた遠野くんですが、この日の体調不良は特別なものです。半日は休んでいないと回復しない不調ですから、しっかり休んでくださいね。もちろんアルクエイドとの待ち合わせは全然無視して OK です。
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
所詮口約束なので法的強制力もなければ違約金も発生しませんしね。そういう問題じゃないんだけどね。心と心の問題にゃんだけどね。でもそういった心のすれ違いが次のロマンスを生み出すのよね。
Hello?
感じる。すぐ近くにデートイベントの気配を感じる。
Well, yeah, there is. We know there is. We've seen it.
あ、シエルにはない
Well,
んだっけ。
not the remake version though.
ソーリー、恵まれすぎてソーリー。
Okay, translate that as rip in pieces is really good.
いえいえ、その分こちらは夜だけでなく学校で長時間過ごさせていただいているのでお気になさらず。
Yeah, not in this route.
遠野くんとのトーク時間は当社比4対6で私の方が上ですので。
Dang.
はあ、どうせ長ったらしい教会の設定語りでしょ。
You're probably not wrong.
吸血鬼社会の説明よりはよっぽど短いですよ。基本的には頼れる先輩と迷える後輩の清らかな男女交際トークです。
Stop spoiling your route.
学校なら私も行ったし。不法侵入とかあなたらしいですけどね。戦闘ドレス等々着替えもあるし。
Why are you saying my? You're a different character.
あのブローブに即落ちした。出だしだけは良かったですね。
She said lol.
よしげーしゃ。
They're really going at it. Is that just the end? That's it. We're gonna come back and there's gonna be like a gravestone. Okay, well, on that note, let's continue and not go down the path of death. Right? It's a good. Oh wait, nope, not that one. That we are stuck in an unending cycle of death if we continue with that. Waning moon. Oh, this is okay. I'm gonna read this part again though. Malfunction. Load threshold exceeded. A broken vessel cannot be mended. Broken tableware serves no use. It's unsightly, so it's better hidden at the back of the shelf. There's something there that's so strange. Anyways, now we're gonna do as Arcueid says. Because, I mean, the machine metaphor is not Tonoshiki, but it kind of is Kohaku. That might have been Kohaku thinking that, which then had her put on the disguise and do that for us, right? I guess I've got no choice. If I keep going against her wishes, I feel like I'll just make her cry.
分かった。今日はおとなしく眠ることにするよ。
Time for me to go blankie mode and lie back down.
本当？
Yeah, no, actually for
後に
realsies.
なって部屋を抜け出したりするのもなしです。
No, that would kill me, literally.
しないよ。実を言うと、体がまだ重いんだ。秋葉の目を盗んで外に出るなんて、とてもできそうにない。
よかった。
I Kia lowers her shoulders, obviously relieved.
翡翠、琥珀に兄さんが目を覚ましたことを伝えに行って。兄さん、夕食はどうしますか？
そっか。いや、
Okay, so I...
琥珀さんに
Oh,
は
we're
悪
not
いけ
even
ど
having the veggie
食べられそう
juice.
にない。今夜はこのまま眠らせてくれ。
わかりました。翡翠、琥珀にそう伝えてきて。
Well then, now that I'm lying down, my fatigue sets in again, lulling me towards a deep slumber. Probably got a minute at best before I fall back asleep. Before I do...
アキハ、うちの庭にあんな場所あったっけ？
ええ。私たちが子供の頃、よく。
そっか。なんだかよく覚えてないな。
Yeah, I totally forgotten it, in fact.
それともう一つ変なことを聞くんだけど、その子供の頃さ、俺とアキハともう一人ぐらい子供がいたとかいう話は知らないか？
は？
Akia tilts her head in confusion. That's a reasonable response. Of course there wasn't anyone else. But if there wasn't, something doesn't add up. What I saw in my dream, and the dream I had in the clearing, they're the same. There has to have been another child. A child who was killed. Otherwise...
いや、なんでもない。ただの夢の話だ。
そうですか。ではおやすみなさい。兄さん、今夜はゆっくり休んでください。
ああ、そうする。
My consciousness is... Let me try that word again. My consciousness is cut off the moment I respond. The tightening I feel in my chest each time I go to sleep isn't there tonight. It's like a switch has been flipped in my mind. As if to escape from all that's happened today, Shiki Tono sinks deep into a dark abyss. When I hear that, it just makes me think of that one chapter of Berserk that got removed. If you know the one I'm talking about, you're like, dang. And if you don't, you're probably like, the what? Don't worry about it. Yeah, that was Waning Moon, but this is Blood Red Moon. What an interesting scene. What does it mean? And it showed little shelves. There's a lot to that I feel like... Huh. That was a confusing scene. Oh, speaking of scenes, I think I know what this one is, and I'm really curious about what the CG is going to look like if we have it. Did someone leave the window open? I can hear birds chirping outside. Cool breeze brushes my cheek. Faint sunlight filters through my eyelids. I'm wrapped in a scene of warm, gentle hues, greeted by the peaceful morning. I grab my glasses from the pillow without another thought. That's right. I must have fallen asleep after talking to Akiha. My joints are pretty dull, but I still feel better than I did last night. Time to make the donuts. I mutter to mentally prepare myself. It's time to wake up and face the morning. Yep, there it is.
あ、やっと起きたの？こいつめ。
Okay, a lot less scary than the original. The original was terrifying when I first saw it. Except, when I open my eyes, I find myself facing Arcueid instead. I stare silently at her face. Every last thought has been banished from my mind. My brain's gone so blank it might as well be tofu. At this point, I've even forgotten how to breathe. Seriously, what is even happening here? All I know is that Arcueid is right in front of me. In my bedroom. At barely 9 in the morning. On my bed. Still wearing her boots. That's just rude.
お前。
嘘つき。また明日って約束したのに。
Her foul mood has dimmed the luster of her red eyes. Except it really hasn't. At this proximity, I can appreciate every last detail. Her eyes are stunning. Arcueid stares at me with unblinking disapproval. She's really close to me right now. Close enough for me to notice the smoothness of her skin, to feel her breath and warmth against me. The weight of her body pins me into the sheets. Martial artists call it a mount.
ちょっと待ってくれ、アルクエイド。お前、なんで朝から俺の部屋にいる？
Even though I want to yell at her, I try my best to keep my voice to a whisper. It'd all be over for me if Hisui heard and came rushing in. I don't know what's all going on, but I'm smart enough to know how bad that'd be.
とにかくどいてくれ。人の部屋に勝手に上がって眠ってる隙に馬乗りとか真剣無視にも程がある。インベーダーかお前は。
To be fair, slightly pot calling the kettle black. Buddy, you invaded her home.
何よその態度。私がこんなところにやってきたのはシキが約束を破ったからでしょ。人を待たせておいて自分はずっと眠っているなんて一体どういうつもりなの？
Arcueid pouts and glares at me indignantly. That's right. Promised I'd meet her last night and I broke that promise. The birds continue to chirp outside. Finally, the pieces start coming together. I understand why Arcueid is angry, but it isn't an excuse for all this. You don't invade someone's room while they're asleep, especially when you can just rip into them later. The window was closed when I went to bed, but it's open now, so she must have come in through there.
そうか。約束を破ったんだから、そりゃ確かに俺が悪い。けど、そんなことで人の家に侵入するのはやりすぎだぞ。
ここ、シキの家じゃないわ。
Arcueid sets me straight.
それにね、本当は私、もっと怒ってたんだから。何時間も待ちぼうけで約束を保護にされたんだって気づいた時、自分でも驚くぐらい頭に血が上ったわ。もう、絶対にこのままじゃ済まさない。乗り込んでいって捕まえて、シキの首根っこぐらい引きちぎってやる。あんなの、経験したことのない精神状態だった。自分でも冷静になろうって思うんだけど、思えば思うほど頭にきちゃって、どんどん熱が上がっていくの。あなたへの文句だけで詰まった底なし沼にはまって、暴れれば暴れるほど沼が広がっていくような気分、分かってもらえる？もう本当にどうにかなりそうでたまらなかったんだから。
Her scarlet eyes are brimming with anger, frustration, and indignation. Whatever she was feeling before, I'd wager it hasn't fully left.
ああ、確かにたまらないな、それは。
I idly nod along, covertly brushing my fingers over my neck to make sure it's still intact.
でしょ？それでもう我慢できなくなって忍び込んだんだけど、シキが眠ってるから待ってあげることにしたのよ。言い訳ぐらいは聞いてみたかったから。でもシキ、なかなか起きないんだもん。やることもなかったし、しばらくあなたの寝顔を見てるしかなかった。うん。シキの寝顔はね、怖いくらい静かだった。死人のように眠っていて、もう起き上がることはないんじゃないかって不安になったくらい。は
あ、不安だったら起こしてくれればよかったのに。こっちはお前にいられる方がよっぽど不安だよ。
けど起こすのももったいなくって、私自分の眠っている姿は知らないけど、シキみたいに眠れるのなら幸せかもしれないなって。どうしてシキはこんなに穏やかなんだろうってずっと考えながら見つめてた。
You ever just have like a really, really, really good sleep? I think that's what he was having. Just like a really good one.
そうしていたらね、あれだけ湧き上がっていた気持ちも収まって、その後にシキが目を覚ましたの。
それじゃあ夜から今までずっとそこにいたのか？
うん。何度か家の人がやってきたけど、見つからないようにしておいたから大丈夫よ。
Just on the ceiling like Japanese Spider-Man. Like clearly in view, but they don't look up.
さっきも式を起こしに女の子が来たけど、気に食わないから追い返しちゃった。
Arcueid gives a flippant chuckle.
待て、追い返したって何を？
手荒な真似はしていないわ。ほら、 前に吸血鬼には未了の魔眼があるって言ったでしょ。あの女の子にはシキはもう学校に行ったって暗示をかけたから、私のことも記憶に残ってないよ。
記憶に残ってないよって、お前ね。
Arcueid sure is pushy about some things. I guess I should be thankful. She salvaged the situation for me in her own way.
経緯はよくわかった。それと、昨日のことはすまなかった、アルクエイド。その謝罪ってわけじゃないけど、俺は二度とお前との約束は破らない。
Our eyes lock as I apologize.
反省してる？
反省してる。何しろ、後の報復が恐ろしいって今思い知ってる最中だ。
My hands go up in a show of surrender. Smiling as though her earlier displeasure had evaporated into thin air, Arcueid gives a satisfied nod. So, okay. Again, maybe it's my memory being completely wrong, as it has been before, but I remember that scene being scary in the original. It felt scary. And I feel like the CG art was like kind of scary with her doing like a death glare to you, like a real like death glare. And I remember it feeling like I'm on the threshold of being killed. Now, I don't know if that's what it was actually like, or if it's just my memory of it. Or heck, maybe it might be the Ciel root equivalent, because those, in the original, the two roots are very similar. We'll have to see, right? But I mean, people will also tell me in the comments, because they're pretty good at just remembering better than me. At last she gets off me and the bed.
にしても、ブーツでベッドに乗っかるなんて。
Yeah, that's a bit rude.
シーツに足跡がついたら洗濯が大変だなとか思わないのか。
Take them piggies out. I grumble as I sit up straight. Arcueid watches me crawl out of the bed from a few steps away.
あのさ、お前何してるの？
何って、シキが着替えるのを待ってるんだけど、その格好のまま出かけるわけにはいかないでしょ。
まあ寝巻きのまま出歩くほどだらしなくは。待て、なんて言った？アルクエイド。
今日一日はずっとシキと行動しようと思って、約束を破った埋め合わせしてくれるんでしょ。
Arcueid replies like it's the most obvious thing in the world. But if we're hanging out all day, doesn't that mean she's asking me to skip school too? I mean, let's be real. With your health situation, you should be anyways.
何言ってるんだ。こっちには学校がだな。
Nah, you just gotta accept it. You're not doing it anymore, this rude buddy.
何よ、反省してるって言ったのに、私より学校を取るの？
She really knows how to hit me where it hurts. I take a quick glance at the clock. It's just past 9. If I were to head to school now, I'd be late anyway. Besides, I do owe it to her for making her stand around all night. And when it comes down to it, spending time with her does sound like a lot more fun.
わかったよ。今日一日はアルクエイドに付き合う。けど、昼間に街に出ても手がかりは何もないんじゃないか。
そこは気にしなくていいよ。だって街を散歩するだけなら昼間でも関係ないんだし。
なんだよ。昨日の夜できなかった分、これから吸血鬼探しをするんじゃないのか。
It's almost hilarious how dense he is.
ええ、もちろん夜になったら調べるわ。けど一日ずっと手伝ってもらうのも大変でしょうから、お昼ぐらいは休んでもいいと思うの。
もっともない意見だけど、二人で街を歩くだけって。
He's gonna say.
それって。
He's gonna say it. A date. It looked like a date. Sure, we've walked around at night, but this would be different. We'd 100% look like a couple. These things probably don't even occur to Arcueid, her being a vampire and all. She probably just wants me to take her somewhere fun, but come on. Can I even handle time with her without any vampire hunting to keep us busy?
どうしたの、シキ？顔赤いわよ。
It's the anemia. Oh god, it's so nice to have just a get out jail free card with that. I scramble to cover my face with my hands and avert my gaze from Arcueid. It's not like we haven't already had plenty of alone time. I mean, we've been in each other's bedrooms, even though I killed her there. But so far, it's been some life or death situation, fighting for survival. Thinking about anything else would have meant certain death. I've been trying to ignore her beauty in order to focus on the task at hand. But, like, what if? What if we just spent the day together like normal people without a clear objective in mind or any impeding doom to distract us? No doubt I'd start to notice things I could do without.
Shiki? ねえ、やっぱり学校に行くの？
わけないだろ。うんと言ったんだから付き合うよ。約束は破らないって言っただろ。どんな気まぐれか知らないけど、街を散歩するぐらいなら問題ないだろうし。
ありがとう、シキ。それじゃあ早速行きましょう。
Her smile is dazzlingly bright. What does she have to thank me for? Arcueid practically skips over to the window she presumably entered from.
ちょっと待った。すぐに着替えるから、そこで外でも見ててくれ。
何？呼んだ？
ああ、呼んだけど呼んでない。止めて悪かった。外に出ていてくれ。
うん、屋敷の正門で待ってるわ。今まで散々待ったんだから、これ以上待たせないでね、シキ。
Arcueid slinks out of the window as lithe and agile as a cat. Now watch as she bounds between the trees. There she goes from branch to branch, never touching the ground even once. Before I know it, she's gone from my sight. Seeing her now, it's no wonder that she managed to slip inside my room unnoticed.
感心してる場合じゃないか。俺も翡翠に見つからないよう外に出ないと。
I quickly change into some casual attire, my tried and true blue and orange shirt. It's a school day, so putting on my uniform would only draw unwanted attention. Opening my door just a crack, I peek to make sure nobody's coming down the hall. I don't want to risk passing through the lobby, so instead I climb out of the window of an empty room on the first floor. I mean, that'd be even more suspicious if you got caught, but alright. Well, I think that's a good place to call it then. Note a date with Arcueid. That's what we're getting to next time, guys. And I did have people say I should do all the options, and I think I will. So we will see you next time, where if we take a look here, yeah, there we are, right? Because that's a dead end there. We still have a couple alternate scenes we're definitely going to look at here, right? There's still a couple that I'm excited to see all the different variants and stuff. I think it's a good idea. We'll check it all out. But for now, that'll be that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time for some more. Let's read Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. Ciao. Yo.